Hello everybody and welcome to tonight's stream, Retro Tuesday, where we play games from yesteryear. Over the last couple of weeks we have been playing Pokemon Blue each week and we've been making some pretty good progress. So I figured we keep doing that this week. There's still stuff I want to get through before we move on to the next game. I want to especially beat the second gym boss, which is coming up fairly soon, but this week we've got to do a couple of other things first before we attempt that. And yeah, we'll probably get a fair chunk of that done at least over the hour or so that we stream. So, thanks everybody for joining in advance. If you're around, looking forward to chatting with you as we play Pokemon. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy this on catch up when you get a chance to watch it. We'll give people a moment or two to jump on and say hello, and then we'll get going with the stream. Oakley dokley. So, we'll just quickly reassess where we're at, because I've forgotten myself, to be honest, in terms of the Pokemon I think last week we caught a, we caught a Sandshrew, which was, it's a favourite Pokemon of mine. He's not going to be particularly useful against the upcoming boss, because it is a water boss, water Pokemon user, but otherwise, actually, just Sandshrew is a very good Pokemon in Pokemon Blue and Red, so that was a good find. We've got a Jigglypuff, we have a Beedrill, we've got a Pikachu, a Pidgey, and a Wartortle, which actually the group hasn't changed that much since I started playing, really. Pikachu, Pidgey, and Beedrill I caught pretty early on in the first hour or so of play. Wartortle was my starter Pokemon. Jigglypuff I caught a bit later on. Didn't get a Clefairy last week as I was hoping to, unfortunately, but Jigglypuff is not a bad alternative, and Sandshrew is a new addition to the group. So I have been sticking with with my old faithful group as we've been going along so far, and they've done me pretty well so far too. So we are in the third city, so you've got the starting city and then the first city, which is the one which the first boss, Brock, and then this gym here is the one we're up to next. That's got Misty in it. You'll recognise those names even if you haven't played the original game, because Misty and Brock are obviously from the anime. Hello Andrew, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Sandslash is great. Those two, Sandshrew and Sandslash were favourite Pokemon for a long time when I was playing Pokemon Blue as the only Pokemon. So I've already beaten those two peons, but I'm not ready to take on Misty just yet. And then last week, right at the end of the stream, if you had tuned in and seen it or caught up afterwards, last week, right at the end, we went this way and up here, and we wandered across over here, and up here we fought our rival. I called him Dude, I think. We fought our rival, he wandered off after being beaten, and now we can go up here freely, which is where we're going next. This is the next part of the game. So this is a bridge, as you can tell. This is actually a pretty neat bit. I quite enjoyed this bit. And on the various replays I've done of Pokemon Blue over the time, I have enjoyed this bit. It's kind of like a gauntlet. You have to fight 5 trainers. You don't actually have to do it in a row. You can go back and heal in between, but you fight the 5 trainers, and then at the top you get a prize, which was pretty neat. Hello Neo, welcome to the stream. The bridge is so stressful as a kid, it's great. Yeah, it's memorable for one way or another. You definitely remember this part. I think the bridge and probably the boat, SS, whatever it's called, those two are my favourite 2 parts of Pokemon Blue. We won't get to the boat for quite a while if we continue playing, but it was another memorable bit. Alright, let's do this. Let's fight our first battle. So how have you both been, Neo and Andrew? Have you been playing good games, having good times? SSN, that's the one. This is Nugget Bridge. Beat us 5 trainers and win a fabulous prize. It's pretty good, right? Think you got what it takes? I sure do. Ah, The Last of Us. How are you enjoying that? Maybe enjoying is the wrong word. Those games aren't designed to be entirely enjoyed. They're meant to make you feel a little bit sober, I guess. Is the point. They're meant to be a bit sobering. Make you a bit reflective. So hopefully they've been getting their message across at least, and you've been appreciating them. That's the word I want to use. You've been appreciating them. They're pretty memorable games. Certainly amongst the blockbusters, they're right up there. Alright, here we go. Caterpie is first. And out comes my Sandshrew. Oops. Cute little tail that Sandshrew's got. I love that sprite. I really love the sprite, the Sandshrew sprite in Pokemon Blue. The little tail's just adorable. And the ears. The little ears are really cute too. Not much point using String Shot on Sandshrew. He's such a slow Pokemon. But if the AI wants to waste its turn, Pokemon's never been known for its great AI with the opponents. Oh, okay, cool. So you're moving into the second one now. Beneath the Steel Sky and Divine Divinity. Those are both good titles as well. Looks like you're all playing good stuff. Good to see. There we go. Sandshrew got through the first one. He's a bit of a monster. He's got a high level. He's got a high defense for his level, which means he tends to punch above his weight. The Caterpie was a much higher level, but was nowhere near as effective as my Sandshrew. Next up will be a Weedle, no doubt. Yep. And I might as well keep Sandshrew going. Let's slash our way through the Weedle. Poison doesn't do much against Sandshrew, so Weedle's got nothing. He's got no weapons to use here. He's got nothing. Oh, but he did manage to poison the Sandshrew. Lovely. Just what I needed. That's right. Bug catcher down. I did my best, I have no regrets. Good stuff. Couldn't ask for anything more. Next one. Let's keep plunging our way through. We'll probably get through 2 or 3 before having to go and rest. Next up, it's a lass. What does she have? A Pidgey! Yeah, I find poison to be very annoying. In combat, it's not such a big deal. Especially if you've got strengths against your opponent's weaknesses or whatever, because it doesn't do too much damage each turn, but the fact that it just drains your Pokemon outside of battle as well is definitely makes it something to avoid if you can. Bye-bye Sandshrew. Thanks for playing, but that's alright. Pikachu needs to level up anyway because I'm going to be relying very heavily on the Pikachu in the boss battle coming up against Misty. So let's try to get Pikachu as many levels as possible on this here bridge. Oh, a Nidoran. Well, I don't want to use Pikachu on the Nidoran. What I'm going to do is pull out Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff will do it. He will get it done. Yeah, I don't see why I shouldn't let Pikachu evolve. Raichu is a cool enough sprite as well. No longer canon. Did something happen in the anime? Did Pikachu not evolve or something? Or did am I missing something that I've forgotten? Because I don't use Pikachu in later Pokemon games, really. He's a convenience in Pokemon Blue. But he was never my favourite Pokemon anyway, so... Right. I see. Yeah, I haven't watched too many of the films or the anime. I only really watched the anime when I was playing Pokemon Blue. So that would have been, what, the first couple of seasons. And yeah, since then I have... It just got away from me, and then I realised I'm never going to be able to catch up, so I gave up. Oh, I see. They've lored it. They've added lore in. That makes it... That's alright. You couldn't evolve the Pikachu that you got in Pokemon Yellow either. I mean, you could, but if you did, he disappeared off the little he disappeared off the screen, making the whole upgrade to Pokemon Yellow a bit pointless. So nobody evolved that Pikachu. I'll have to try and check out the first movie if I can find it somewhere at some stage. I'll add it to the very long list of things I need to do. It gets longer and longer, that list. I never get shorter. But I will try and find the time to check it out on your recommendation. This Rattata doesn't stay asleep. He likes waking up. Uh-oh. Bye, Jigglypuff. Yeah, that's it. They want to keep the iconic Pikachu. That's the real reason. And fair enough. Pikachu makes them lots of money. To this day, you go into a Poké Center in Japan and Pikachus are everywhere. You know, they've got so many other Pokemon. And so many cool ones as well, but they just stick with the Pikachu. Let's give Beedrill a run now. If I ever get a chance to stream GBA games, and I'm working on it, hopefully I get a chance soon, I can start doing it again. I did it with Fire Emblem for a while, and then it all broke down, so I couldn't do it anymore. But if I can get it working again, I will play the Pokemon... I think it's the GBA one, isn't it? Where you get Piplup as a starter, because Piplup is my favourite Pokemon by a long way. He's the best. Piplup's so cute. I have a huge Piplup. I think it is the GBA one, isn't it? And then they just gave up on poor Piplup. They never gave him a run again. They started promoting Eevees and nonsense instead. Not that Eevee's not cute and stuff, but he's no Piplup. There we go. That's 3 down. And Pikachu got a level. Good. Ah, hello Matt. Welcome to the stream. Piplup is Diamond Pearl. Oh, yes, he is too. Actually, yes. Because that was the first one my wife played. And she liked Piplup too. And then he evolved and she didn't like him anymore. He stopped being so cute. So there you go. Piplup. I did my best, I have no regrets. Do I continue fighting on? Have I got... I'm half down, aren't I? Oh no, still got 3 or 4 of them. So let's continue with the fight. Let's just keep ploughing through them. Mudkip, I'm sorry. I don't mind Mudkip because he is a blue Pokemon, and as a rule I do like the water Pokemon, but I am sorry, but that is quite incorrect. Piplup is the best. Actually, the first time I didn't pick a water starter, I think, first off, is the most recent one, Sword and Shield. Was not a fan. I picked the rabbit, the fire rabbit. He was pretty cool. Oops. Poor Beedrill. Not having a good run of it at the moment. Missing attacks here and there. Not being effective enough against Pokemon that he's paired up against. But he's going to get knocked out after this, in this battle. See, he keeps missing. Useless. Beedrill's not having a good day. Bye bye, Beedrill. That's alright, Pikachu can have another run at it. I wanted to get him up to level 16 at least, anyway. The monkey, the leafy monkey. He was leafy, wasn't he? That's the one I'm thinking of. Yes, they all did their best, so none of them have any regrets. Good on them. I'm going to go and heal my Pokemon, then deal with the last one. That was a good run. Yeah. I haven't even tried to do a DS stream as such. There's just no way I'm going to even bother looking into it at this stage, but yeah. It'd be cool. There's so many DS games that I would love to stream. Not just Pokemon, there's lots. And that was a great console. So many great games on it. It was a JRPG beast too. In fact, the DS was really the one that was responsible for reinvigorating my interest in dungeon crawlers, thanks to Etrian Odyssey and a lesser known one called the Dark Spire, I believe. The Dark Spire? Darkest Spire? Dark Tower? Darkest Tower? One of those four. I think it was this. Where am I? Anyway, it was a really good game. And it was very old school wizardry about it. And I really, really enjoyed that one. And those two games really got me back into the dungeon crawler. After many years of not really playing them after SSI wound up. Was it the GBA you could plug into a GameCube and play on TV? I don't remember if they had a full... Did they have a full a full thing like the Super Game Boy for the GBA and the GameCube? I can't remember. Is this on an emulator? I can't say now, can I? Yeah, this is on an emulator. I have my old cartridge of Pokemon Blue around, so don't come after me, Nintendo. But yeah, there's no way I can stream off a Game Boy anymore. Okay, I never had the Game Boy Player. I had the Super Game Boy for the Super NES, which let me play all my Game Boy games on TV. That was a great device. I loved that. Love that thing, a great deal. But you never had the one for GameCube. Yeah, Nintendo does a lot of things that are a bit of a shame. Like, it's a bit of a shame that Nintendo never bothers to release all of this stuff on virtual consoles. Like, it was great that they had the Game Boy and Game Boy Color Virtual Console on the 3DS. Why it's not on the Switch as part of the subscription service is just beyond me, because these are a whole bunch of games that are classics and people would love to play them again, and Nintendo just makes it too difficult. It's fine. I'm pretty sure Nintendo doesn't watch my streams. I'm not that big of a streamer just yet, so by the time I catch Nintendo's attention, hopefully this particular stream is so far buried they just don't find it. It's just weird. They went to all the effort to do emulation for the 3DS, and I would assume that those games sold well enough on the 3DS to make it worthwhile. And then they did GBA emulation on the Wii U, which was great. Loved playing Fire Emblem on my Wii U gamepad. Loved it a great deal. And then they just gave up on that as well. There is no GBA games on Switch. And they just encourage people to do what I'm doing and play them in other ways, because they just make it too hard to play them legit, even when you already got them. Reggie is always watching. He can watch. I'm sure he's one of those people that are a viewer but not commenting. Hi Reggie, how you doing? So, let's take on the boss dude now. We beat the Mankey. He's not really a boss, but he's the one that's got the prize. Give me my prize. A nugget. Would you like to join Team Rocket? We're a group dedicated to evil using Pokemon. I love that. I love how old RPGs are like, hey, we're evil. Like they're proud of being evil. That's such a quaint way of doing things. Speaking of such good and evil, I'm going to take a quick digression to talk about Baldur's Gate 3, because Baldur's Gate 3 is really annoying me. It was the big game release last week for people who don't follow the big Western RPG releases, and as a massive fan of Baldur's Gate, at some stage I'll actually do a stream of Baldur's Gate on Retro. I had to play it, but amongst other things, they've gone and done away with alignments, and as a result, everybody is just nasty. It's gone very Game of Thrones as Baldur's Gate 3, and a big part of the reason of that is they've got rid of alignments entirely, so you don't play as a good character anymore, you just play as a character, which is more realistic, but it absolutely ruins the ambience of Baldur's Gate, so it just doesn't capture the feel of Baldur's Gate at all, unfortunately. Anyway, that's enough of Baldur's Gate ranting. I've already done that on the website anyway. I remember as a kid there was a rumour that if you try to catch the Pokemon of the people of the bridge 5 times... Yeah, I really loved all the little all the little urban legends that emerged out of Pokemon. Come on, join us. He's very insistent. Yeah, the little urban legends. The other one that I really enjoyed was the complicated button presses that you could do to make it easier to catch Pokemon with a Pokeball. Like, if you pressed B at a certain time when the Pokeball was in the air, or tapped it a certain number of times when the Pokemon was inside the ball before it got caught, so on and so forth, you would actually make it much more likely to catch the Pokemon. And, of course, none of that was true, but it was fun. All the little urban legends that popped up before the internet was there to dispel such rumours was a big part of the appeal of Pokemon. And Matt, you'd know from playing the Nexomon, they kind of play into that with that little quick time event that you get to play through every time you try to catch a Nexomon. That, I reckon, is a homage to the old rumours about how you could press buttons and do combos to make it easier to catch Pokemon. That's my thought. That's my thought on it anyway. It's pretty neat. you, Speaking of getting confused about the layouts of the buttons, the one that has absolutely thrown me was the Miku game on the Switch versus the PlayStation 4. I still don't get it right. A lot of the time, especially when you have to do double buttons like B and X and whatever, I still get that wrong so often because I have the PlayStation buttons so firmly ingrained in my brain from playing the Miku games on PlayStation for like 1,000 hours that trying to do it on the Switch with the Switch layouts, it's just confusing me. Still, a couple of 100 hours into Miku on the Switch and it still throws me. It's funny how you get so ingrained in some things. They still haven't announced a Miku game for the PlayStation 5, which means that the PlayStation 5 is still not a very good console, if you ask me. I need Miku before I like a console. That's the rule. I didn't like the Switch until Miku came along. I'm not going to like the PlayStation either until it happens. If you're a gamer, why do you review games instead of playing them? Yeah, because I'm also a masochist. I like putting myself through a lot of pain. Also, hello Diddy, welcome to the stream. Not a fan of Sony's Western Tilt. Yeah, I don't think anybody who enjoys Japanese games is. Sony has pivoted, is the technical business-like term that people who wear suits use. Sony has pivoted to the West hard. It's like a 180-degree pivot. Yes, Pikachu got to level 16. You're always welcome here, Diddy, always. You lighten up these streams, it wouldn't be the same without you. Project Sekai. Project Sekai is... Sony is a heel. That's my favourite. Well done, I'll give you that. Isn't Project Sekai a publisher, not a game? Or is there an actual game called Project Sekai, in which case, no, I have not played it. Yeah, Death Stranding was a highlight for me with PlayStation. I give Kojima full credit for somehow managing to drive home that vision. I'm sure he would have had some heated conversations with the suits at Sony about that game, but he got it through. Full credit to him. That game really turned me around on Kojima. I was not a fan until I played Death Stranding, and now I like all his games. So there you go. Rocket. I beat Rocket, so I got my nugget. And yeah, he's still trying to pull me in. This guy's a bit rude. He's still trying to pull me in. Anyway, now we have the next thing is to try and catch an Abra. This is always good fun. Oh, got to fight this guy first. He comes out of the grass to grab me. Yeah, that's what I thought. Project is Sekai Project. They're the ones that published that dungeon crawler with the zombie girls that I played recently. Undead Darlings. I'm pretty sure that was Sekai Project that published it. I think. Or I'm getting very confused tonight. One or the other. Having lots of names thrown at me. It throws me a bit. I have not seen Assault Lily, no. I assume that's a Sekai Project game. Good job, Jigglypuff. Got a critical hit there. Since we are talking about Project Sekai or Sekai Project and... oh, the Vocaloid mobile rhythm game. There we go. That's not out in Australia yet. My wife has that on her iPhone because hers is tied into Japan, Japanese app store. But yeah, that's not actually out in English yet, so that's why the name threw me. That I'm definitely looking forward to checking out when it does eventually come out in English, which I'm sure will happen because it is Miku and I must. This is the rule, I must do these things. In the meantime, while we are talking about rhythm games, there is good news that the Love Live rhythm game is coming to PlayStation 4. Courtesy of Square Enix, in English no less, so that'll be nice. I'm looking forward to that a great deal. Rhythm games are one of those ones that I do think work in mobile format, even if you take them as free-to-play games with microtransactions or whatever. When they're done nicely, when they're done properly, and they're not too exploitative, they still work. Like the Cryak rhythm games. Cryak? Ray-Ark. See, I'm getting really confused with names tonight. But Voez and Demo, that developer publisher, their stuff on mobile is actually really good, even though it's free to play. I think the monetization of free to play does lend itself fairly well to mobile, to rhythm games. Acceptable level of exploitation depends on the number of cute girls. Yeah, so in that case, Diddy, you should be really should be playing Genshin Impact. Based on that rule, you'll be quite open to a very heavy exploitation. I keep being tempted to play Genshin on a stream, but I know I'll get yelled at by Diddy for playing a gacha game. I don't want to upset you. There's an Abra in this grass somewhere. If I can catch the Abra, that'll be pretty good. The problem with Abra is you get one shot at it, and then it teleports away. So you're just going to have to throw a Pokeball at it and hope for the best. Oh, I don't have a Bellsprout yet. Let's catch one of those just for the heck of it. One shot Abra, yes. Bye bye Jigglypuff. But I don't have a Bellsprout yet. I don't like Bellsprout much. It's a very ugly Pokemon, but I am a completionist, so I must have every Pokemon I come across. I need to catch at least one off. It's difficult to put Abra to sleep because Jigglypuff is so... excuse me. Because Jigglypuff is so slow and goes second, the Abra teleports away anyway. Oh dear, I've only got 3 Pokeballs anyway. I have to go shopping. There we go, caught a Bellsprout. Anime. What anime did he? Oh, I guess that could work, Andrew. That's probably... if I wanted to, but I'll just Here we go, see? An Abra right here. I'll just take my chances. Just give it a go. Let's see how we go with it. I probably won't. Nope. Bye-bye. Most annoying Pokemon to try and catch is Abra. That's right, at least he showed up. Unlike Clefairy. I walked through an entire cave over 2 streams, over the course of 2 streams no less, and not one Clefairy. Are we talking about the new Higurashi Diddy? Because, yeah, I know I'm way behind on Higurashi. I keep getting told by people that I'm way behind on Higurashi. I get it, really, I do. Ah, I forgot to get Pokeballs. That's right, we'll just continue on. I'll catch an Abra off stream or something to save us the pain of me throwing endless Pokeballs at the thing, hoping that one lands. We'll go in here. We've got more trainers to fight here. This is interesting. Yeah. I need to level up my Sandshrew anyway. No, I definitely have not read Urasekai Picnic. Am I a fan of Nihon or Nippon? Do I like Japan? I do like Japan. A little bit. Sometimes. I'm kind of missing not being there right now. I would actually just be wrapping up my annual trip to Japan right about now, actually. I usually go for about 4 to 6 weeks around Tokyo Game Show and whatever, and we usually hang around till early October, so I'm definitely missing... I'll go away, Smith Shop. I'm definitely missing Japan right now. Nah, really, really what, Neo? I was being sarcastic. I like Japan a great deal. Okay, so Sandshrew didn't do his job. Let's get Beedrill out to finish the job. You can go to so many countries when there isn't a pandemic. Yeah. I'm kind of ruining my missed opportunities to go to some other places. A lot of places in Asia that I would like to have seen that. God knows if that'll happen again. Yeah. But let's be positive. Something will happen. I'm sure people who are going through the Spanish flu felt the same, like the world was never going to be the same again and it was all over and people are just going to be miserable for the rest of their lives, and they got through it. I'm sure we will too. I'm going to be positive about these things. If the pandemic never ends, I want a refund of life. Yeah, that's it. I think some people owe us up there, upstairs, if whoever they be. Yeah, at least you got your refund, but it is unfortunate that you missed out as well. I guess the one plus side to all of this is that those holiday hours, I don't know what it's like for people in other countries, but in Australia those holiday hours do accumulate, so I'll be taking some long service leave next year if things do open up. Hey Ray, welcome to the stream, thanks for joining us. 2022 is, well, that's a fair bet. I mean, 2021 will probably be shut down for most of it, but fingers crossed things open up a little bit in 2022. And perhaps travel might not be the same. It might be, and there might be quarantines involved, and you may need to do whatever, some social distancing and health You know, you'll want to wear masks when you're out and about while you're travelling, but hopefully travel does open up again by 2022. That would be good. 2021 does have the Olympics, but I don't think overseas people will be planning to go to those somehow. I think it might be a quiet Olympics, which is not good for Japan. They needed the tourists to come. But at least they'll get to put the show on and hopefully encourage people to do tourism back when things do open up a bit more. Yeah, I know. It's all... There will be new strains of pandemics and things. I mean, the thing that you can hope for is that the response to these things becomes better from the lessons learned here. Who knows? Who knows? We just got to be positive about these things. I mean, I've got property in Japan, so I've got to get back there. I need to check my home. I do enjoy the Olympics, very much so. Every year I do the terrible, horrible, immoral thing and spend a great deal of money to get the streams and whatever so I can watch on about 4 different screens at once. And I do enjoy having volleyball and handball and gymnastics and cycling or whatever going on at the same time. I get into the Olympic spirit in full, I must admit. And yeah, it is what it is. We have more reasons to dwell online and in the virtual world. There is that. There is definitely that. At least we all have Hatsune Miku and she's always going to be around. Unsick, unaffected by viruses until they develop a specific computer virus that destroys Miku. But, yeah. We do have Miku. Did you all see the really cool video of the ballroom dancing Miku? I really enjoyed that video today. That was good fun. That made me happy. Family Mart, yeah, I love Family Mart. All the good, I mean the bookshops too. I love the Japanese bookshops and the fact that even kind of local areas in Japan have bookshops which are 4 or 5 stories tall, and there are just so many books in there. Good smell, like the bookshop smell is really nice. And Family Mart is good, or convenience stores in general are good. Convenience stores in Australia are not. They are not good at all, on any level. I mean, who likes to spend $5.50 on a bottle of Coke? And I really miss Cocoa Curry. Cocoa Curry with its 10 spicy, make you sweat and cry curries. They were great. You can obviously get curry in Australia. Actually, where I'm living in Australia now doesn't even have a good Indian place. The Indian place closed thanks to the pandemic, so I can't get a good curry at all. I have to be. I can't really eat Thai curries because they tend to have shellfish and stuff in them, or oyster sauce in the curry itself. So yeah, I haven't had a curry for quite a while now. Oh, that is terrible timing. I'm sorry to hear that, Andrew. You'll get there. You'll get a chance again. I'm sure. Those are good curries too. The only thing is, I like my curries like painfully hot. I don't know why. I just like my curries brutal, and it's hard to get those like in shops. I guess you could probably spice them up yourself, but I'm not good at cooking. I burn 2-minute noodles, so I kind of rely on what I can find in shops or at fast food takeouts, and yeah. I've never had a Moyen curry, but I will definitely check one of those out if I get a chance. ever eaten out. Dithie, there you go. Let's bring in the conversation in a in a roundabout way to something different. I don't cook too often. No, I'm not joking. I actually genuinely burnt 2-minute noodles. I ruined a pot. I put the 2-minute noodles on, and then I forgot I was cooking them. So the next thing I do is I smell like burning smell, and I don't even register immediately what's going on. So I'm just going, that smells funny. And then a couple of minutes later, oh, hang on, that's a problem. So I go and check, and there's like, it's all black and the pot is ruined, and that was not my finest moment. And since then, I just don't cook. You'll have to get practice, Diddy, because once they have those holograms, like in Blade Runner 2049, I can't wait for that day to come. You'll be able to have whatever conversations you want over dinner. It'll be a holographic dinner, but over the top of whatever bland food you're assigned to eat because you live in a capitalist nightmare. That is such a good movie. I love Blade Runner 2049. In some ways, it is a vision of the future. That ain't so bad. This chat is going places. I forgot the Slowpoke has such a cool sprite in Pokemon Blue. That's adorable. They never managed to top that sprite. I'm running out of Pokemon. Luckily Slowpoke is water. I think he's water still in this one. Or do they add water later on? Or am I just thinking of the wrong Pokemon completely? He might not be water at all. But anyway, I zapped him. Oh yeah, he is water. There we go. Imagine having fetishes. They're good stuff. Digital characters. Hatsune Miku. Alright, he's not mad. Is he one of the shorts guys? No, he's the SSN advertisement. Imagine advertising a cruise ship in 2020. That would not go down very well at all. Another pity, because I do like cruises actually. I was that close. I was so close to booking a short cruise trip in just before everything hit the fan late last year with bushfires and stuff, and I put it off, and then the pandemic hit and made cruises very unattractive and unappealing as a holiday. But I do enjoy a nice cruise. Ah, well, yes, I'm very... I hope you're staying safe over there, because it all seems like it's falling apart in America, unfortunately. If it's not the pandemic, it's the political situation. If it's not that, it's something else. It just seems like you're having an endless nightmare over there this year. So hopefully the end of the year brings a bit of stability and sanity back to your country, because it's not nice to watch sitting here relatively protected in Australia. Cruises are very bougie, yes they are. But the good thing is, if you're under the age of 60 and you're on the cruise, you're the youngest person on the cruise, so, you know, you feel youthful, which at my age, now that I'm getting closer to 40, is something that I do crave a bit. Oh Oh dear, yeah. Oh wow, that's lucky timing. My parents were on a cruise ship and it took them, well, they weren't on a cruise ship, they had a cruise booked in. It took them 6 months to get a refund. So, yeah, I think the cruise industry is certainly suffering at the moment. If there is one upside to or everything that's going on at the moment, if there is one upside, there will be some bargain holidays to have once things do open up a bit again and it becomes safe to travel and whatever. You will definitely find some cheap holidays. I imagine they could not give cruise tickets away. The ones that survive will be doing it very cheap. So that's a nice thought. She has a boyfriend. Yes. He's a bit of a jerk too. We come across him soon enough. What am I also going to... I'm going to use the war turtle. I need to level up my Sandshrew. He's still level 10. He's been level 10 this whole stream. He keeps dying before he gets to kill anything. So let's give war turtle a run. What, you got seasick, Matt? Or bored? Or... Because... I think I've been on the overnight ship from Melbourne to Tassie once, and it's not quite the same as a major cruise line, so I wouldn't give up on them just yet. Oh, right, yeah, seasickness. Yeah, that's definitely not something you just get over, so I can understand that. So, my Sandshrew finally got a level. Good job. Good work, little Sandy. Let's see if he can actually get through a battle. Possibly not. So I don't think my Sandshrew is going to get through this battle because I've been growled down to doing virtually no damage with each attack. But he gave it a good run, the little guy. Let's change Pokemon. Let's give Pidgey a go. I don't think I've even used Pidgey yet tonight, have I? Maybe once or twice, not much. Is the EXP share communist? The even distribution of experience points is certainly a communist concept. It's not trickle down because it's not it's not the least number of experience points to the Pokemon that is the least level. So it's automatically a gooder thing. So this is the boyfriend. That girl is there. She's the girlfriend. I wish my guy was as good as you. I imagine that sometimes some of the people that wrote some of these lines in Pokemon really pushed boundaries just to see what they could get away with, and people used to think that Nintendo was a conservative company, but look at what they published. Look at that filth. An NTR of it. NTR alert. So I went down a certain rabbit hole the last week. I do a weekly thing on Itch, on Itch for the website, where I look at some of the games that are available on Itch and whatever, and Itch obviously has quite a lot of adult material on there. And I discovered that NTR... Firstly, I discovered what NTR was, which was a term I actually hadn't come across before. Secondly, I discovered that it wasn't exactly popular. And if you create an NTR game, you're going to get in a lot of trouble with a certain community. So, don't do it. The Japanese had some ballsy lines. I believe you. Alright, let's talk to the boyfriend. Oh no, that's not the boyfriend. He's just a dude. Maybe the boyfriend's the one up top. We'll catch up with him later. Like the hiker getting high on shrooms. There's another one much later on. I think it's, you know, that kind of walkway over the ocean section underneath Lavender Town, where you fight all the fishermen. I think down there's one character that has some rather... she says some things that make you wonder if she's still going to be there when the next time you drop by. You do worry about her a little bit. It has some lines, does this game. But if you know anything about Japanese entertainment for kids, there are a lot of lines. They're not quite as interested in bubble wrapping their kids as tends to happen out here in the West. Their entertainment for kids is certainly pitched in a different direction than what would be considered appropriate for our peoples. Let's give Machop. Let's give Beedrill a run. I can never remember what is actually weak against fighting Pokemon in early games, in the early Pokemon. Honey Select is clearly a game for all ages. Yeah, that's it. I mean, the thing is, with kids' entertainment, around the world, it doesn't really matter where you are. It's the same in the West. The stuff that Disney creates and whatever. The idea is that you want it to be engaging for adults as well as kids, and something there for adults to enjoy. The difference, I guess, is that there's certain sensitivities that parents in the West have about what their kids see that they don't have in Japan to the same extent. So that tends to mean that a lot of kids' entertainment in the West has a fairly violent edge to it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure even in Japan, Sailor would be out for kids. Just a thought. Although, there are some countries in the West where things go a little bit wonky, like, I think it was France, wasn't it? In France, the 50 Shades of Grey movie got rated like 13 plus, like PG 13 plus, and that movie, whatever its qualities as a story, and it's not very, there aren't many qualities of it, that movie certainly had things that I'm not sure many places in the West would want their kids to be looking at. Are age ratings necessary? Well, they probably are, because if they weren't, then we'd end up with so many other things that would get banned because of the Think of the Children line. I mean, think about it, in Australia when we didn't have an R rating for video games, when the highest rating was 15 plus, and there were no such thing as adult video games that were allowed in this country, how much stuff got just banned because we didn't have that rating. R in the TV guide and I'll continue to repeat. I must admit, I used to look for the little R in the TV guide because if it was a late night movie and I could get access to the TV, I would watch that. Not too young, I guess, but young enough. When I was interested in these things, I saw a lot of R-rated movies thanks to the TV. Then TVs got very Puritan. This is the boyfriend here, this guy. He's a bit of a jerk. See? I'm a cool guy. I've got a girlfriend. He's a cool dude. Look at how cool he is. What a dude. I like to call him Joe Hildebrand, which won't mean anything to anybody else, but he's definitely a Joe to the Aussies. What a dweeb. Okay. Hyperfang. When Rattatas start to learn Hyperfang, they become very irritating Pokemon to try to defeat. Let's move on to Pikachu. Still want to try and level him up, don't I? Boy Scout outfit. There we go, Pikachu up to level 17. He's ready to take on Misty all by himself. Ekans. Snaky, snaky. Let's use Pidgey. Wish he had shades. Yeah, he needed shades, that's for sure. Girls want his Pokemon, boys want his Pokemon. He whipped out his snake. That's almost certainly why they gave him a Ekans. They knew that joke was coming. There we go. Junior trainer down. Oh, damn. Not so cool now, are you, sir? Oh my god, Jimmy. Okay then, thanks for sharing. So just the one more trainer here. Oh, two more trainers. I don't want to go all the way back to heal. I'll just use potions. No, I need Sandshrew to level up, so I will wander back to heal. Backtracking. Ever play a video game about eroticism as a lifestyle? Yeah, it's called Lust for Darkness. You should definitely check it out. It's like eroticism plus Lovecraft. It's a masterpiece. It's a way of life, of sorts. It's actually a good game. I highly recommend it. I have an interview with the developer of Lust for Darkness and the upcoming Lust from Beyond on digitallydownloaded.net, so you can check that out. It's a pretty good interview, if I do say so myself. It's a Polish developer. Quite interesting insights. An interesting game. It does mix Lovecraft and eroticism, so horror and sex, and also it's got a kind of a Eyes Wide Shut vibe about it, so it does the decadence aesthetic, which I really enjoy. As a big fan of Eyes Wide Shut, one of my favourite movies of all time, that was what originally got me interested in Lust for Darkness. And it's actually, I mean, it's an indie game. It wears its heart on its sleeve, but it does an alright job overall. I'm almost certain there is a strip club simulator. Actually, since we're talking about why there is or is not certain games, one thing I have noticed, and it's weird, I don't know why I noticed it, but I did notice it. When I was growing up, there were an awful lot of video games that were strip poker video games. So there were a lot of them, a lot of them. But they really dried up, and I don't know why, because I would imagine the interest of those would increase as the quality of the graphics improved. But while there's still heaps and heaps of adult games that get made, there is basically no strip poker ones, and I don't understand why. And it was just an idle observation. I think I was looking through the Internet Archive, just looking at old PC games, and there are just so many of those games there, and they just don't happen anymore. No, I don't think so. Don't give me that visual, Diddy. Oh, Sandshrew versus Sandshrew. Isn't he cute? Let's go to the War Turtle. War Turtle does go through Sandshrew good and quick because ground Pokemon, weak to water. Very weak to water, actually. Down we go. Oh, War Turtle got another level. Look at that defense rating. 40. Youngster had no chance. If your Pokemon gets confused or falls asleep, switch it. Thank you for that very sagely advice, youngster. I appreciate that. One more battle to go, and that's the end of that little gauntlet. Once we defeat this person, my friend has a cute Pokemon. Okay. I'm so jealous. Thank you for telling me that. I don't know why some of these characters think that we'd be interested in hearing these things, but they do. They just spill everything. You've added a new tag to Steam. What tag would that be? Oops. Sandshrew's not good at fighting Oddishes, I forgot. Let's go with PG. Pinboffication. Goose is shooting. Yeah. I'm not allowed to talk about that game because I get yelled at when I do. So I'm not going to. Not allowed to be critical of video games that are popular. If you do, you get, piled on by lots of people, and then they make videos about you which are less than enjoyable to watch, all because you didn't like the game they liked. Video games. Oh yes, I made an absolute fortune. I got so many clicks. Apparently every click equals some kind of yacht or something. From the way that these people talk, I should be a very wealthy person indeed. I mean, I don't mind if people don't like my reviews and then decide not to read my reviews and whatever, that's fine. But, when they go and make 30-minute videos about how terrible I am as a person or whatever. That's a little bit surreal. I mean, it was just a review. You didn't have to click onto it and read it. Paper Mario Sticker Star is a good game. Is that what you reached for? When you're looking for the worst opinion you could possibly have, you reached for Paper Mario Sticker Star is a good game. It could be worse. I mean, if you're going to have opinions about which Paper Mario game is terrible, you should definitely go with that Wii U one. It's telling that basically every video game that was on the Wii U, released on the Wii U, people have been begging for it to come to Switch. So we got Pikmin 3 coming in the next couple of days, weeks. Then we really only got Xenoblade Chronicles X, which will come for sure. Project Zero, which may or may not come. But after that, we've got pretty much every game that anybody had played on the Wii U, and still, no one is asking for that Paper Mario game. Yeah, Neo, I know, it's basically, yeah, it's been a fan or something. It's fandoms, they build their identity around a game or a property or whatever, and when you're that involved with it, when it's kind of that core to who you see or identify as, you do tend to take things very personally. So the good thing is most people do grow out of it, and those that don't are easy to block on Twitter, but yeah, it's not healthy, that's for sure. Here's another thing about Pokemon Blue. I always used to think you could somehow get behind this house. See, there's like the gap at the house, behind the house there. I used to always think there was some way to get behind there, and there would be something cool if you did. And I don't believe there is anything back there. I think it's just very misleading graphics. Because it does imply that there's something back there. But unless I'm really forgetting, there isn't. Alright, so we're in a weird laboratory thing here. Let's talk to this Pokemon, shall we? Call me Bill. I'm a true blue Pokemaniac. Hey, what's with that skeptical look? I'm not joshing you. I screwed up an experiment and turned into The Fly. No. So Game Freak are definitely fans of The Fly, which is fair enough. Good movie, that. If you haven't seen The Fly, you should definitely see it. Body horror right up there with at its finest. Cronenberg is a bit of a genius when it comes to that stuff. Mind you, it's not my favourite Cronenberg film either. I've got to say, my favourite Cronenberg film would have to be Naked Lunch, which I watched many, many times while I was at university. And it's a very difficult film to watch because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because it is a film about drugs. But yeah, Cronenberg, good guy. The Fly is a good film. I wouldn't mind so much if it's out of a worry of niche games. Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing. I mean, we're talking about Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima was never going to struggle because I didn't give it... I personally, being one games journalist out of 90 that reviewed it, I personally didn't give it an 8 out of 10. The ability for my review to actually sway any sales to any meaningful degree is just a joke. But I certainly got lots of people accusing me of trying to ruin Sony's business, which was... It was funny. Well, it was not so funny given I lost a couple of nights' sleep monitoring comments, but in hindsight, I'm laughing at it now. Journey to the Edge of my graphics card. Anyway, we rescued Bill. So he gives us a ticket to the SSN, which is what we do next. Well, not quite next. We've got to go and beat Misty now as the next dungeon. But the next thing after that is to head down and jump on the SSN, which is my favourite part of Pokemon Blue. I really enjoy that level, that dungeon as such. We'll go this way. We'll take a shortcut back. The sailor that vomits in the bin, he's pretty funny. Yeah, you give him a back rub and he's okay. That's, I honestly, it would all depend in context, Diddy. I'm very open to what kind of stuff I experience in those games. For me, it just matters how it's written, really, as long as it's there for a reason. I like my erotic games to have narrative and a point. I'm not a big fan of just it being there. But anyway. I guess I didn't harass the reviewers back. Yes, well, good. As long as you didn't do that, then that's alright. I mean, it's fine to really love a video game and whatever and be really passionate about it. And God knows, I certainly have a less than healthy interest in Hatsune Miku games. I'm not joking about that stuff. I really do love those games. But, yeah, as long as you can accept that other people don't have to enjoy them as well, then it's actually healthy. A lot of people are not like that. A lot of people do indeed get very upset if people don't love the games they do. So next up, we gotta fight Misty. That's where we're up to. But we are at the end of the stream tonight. Thank you very much for the lively conversation, everybody. It's been really great having so many people to chat while I've been playing along. Hope this was an enjoyable hour or so, and have a great time playing games for the rest of the week. We'll be back on Friday night with a different stream, not a retro thing. Something well, it changes every week, really. But other than that, stay tuned on DDNet for plenty more reviews and stuff. Thanks again for joining, and we'll see you next time.